Sonic Speed Simulator is slowly killing their game. And no, I'm not talking about the gambling or the fast passes or even how grindy updates can be. And yes, don't get me wrong, those things are 100% killing the game, but I think we even have a bigger issue. And if you couldn't already tell, it is the quote-unquote optimization, where the developers would just start randomly removing events, races, or even places. And apparently they do it so they can make mobile phones run better. Well, in today's video, me and you will be diving into every single thing Sonic Speed Simulator has removed to apparently optimize their game. And we'll be seeing if it's worth it or not. And kickstarting us off, the very first thing these Sonic Speed Simulator devs removed are the races. Now, if you guys don't know, a while back in one of these summer updates, Sonic Speed Simulator just straight up removed a bunch of drag races and races. And they just said that they're gonna come back on a future date. If they want to go ahead and remove some drag races, I guess that's fine. But straight up removing a bunch of action races like Emerald Coast, Green Hill, and even the Metal Madness race is absolutely absurd. Like, I get it, nobody really races inside of Sonic Speed Simulator anymore, but to remove key races from their game is absolutely diabolical. Especially removing Metal Madness, considering that it was the very first race to ever be inside of Sonic Speed Simulator. So again, I don't know if you guys care about them removing races, but at least for me, I 100% do. There's already nothing to do inside of Sonic Speed Simulator, so to make the game even more empty, at least for me, this does not make any sense. But anyways, moving on to number 2, we have some events. Now, obviously, removing some events like the Flame Shadow event and the Armored Metal Sonic event are, I guess, fine. At the end of the day, they're just reskins, and even though some of these events bring in new races and new Batniks, I guess at the end of the day, it's not a massive deal. But with these events, they remove main characters like Metal Sonic, Cream, Gemerald, and even Marine, and even some really cool fast friends like Cheese and Chocola. And honestly, this is one of the stupidest decisions I think I've ever seen a video game made. Like, we're not even talking about reskins, we're talking about main cast characters, and I can't understand how that helps optimization or even helps the game at all. Because again, if Sonic Speed Simulator's main focus is to get thousands of players on the game and thousands of new players come onto the game, it's not gonna work if you remove key events from the game. And I think the funniest part about all this is you can actually still find Cream's event in Emerald Hill. And obviously, it's literally just like a template of the event, so it doesn't really affect optimization. But still, I mean, like, if it's in the game, why don't you just add it back? And the worst part about this is that some of these skins, now that they're not inside the game anymore, they just get really overpriced in the training hub so nobody else can unlock them. Anyways, for our very last topic, we have Sonic Speed Simulator removing places. Now, I think this all started a while back when Secret Worlds got removed from Sonic Speed Simulator. Like, literally every classic world, Sin City, and even Distorted Radical Highway were all removed. But since the devs got so much backlash, a week later they added everything back. Well, now you're probably thinking, okay, it ends there, they didn't remove any more places. Well, my friend, you are so wrong. Honestly, do not play the lottery ever again. Because in the most recent Sonic Speed Simulator update, they have just removed the entire beach area from Green Hill Zone. I'm not lying, when you go inside the game, it's just a pool of water. And in the patch notes, they said that this area will come back during summer. So we basically have to wait a year until we get a key part of Green Hill back. Which honestly, it doesn't even make any sense. Because if we're being real, that area was barely a beach. I don't even remember them having any beach chairs, umbrellas, or even a volleyball over there. Again, this just makes the world more dead. There is no point in removing this. And especially making people wait a whole year for it to come back is honestly stupid. And you know what? Even to add some cherries on top of the cake, literally last week's update, they removed the title card animation. So instead of Sonic doing like an animation on a title card, now we're just like frozen, he's standing still. And keep in mind, they could have literally just like imported a GIF of it into Sonic Speed Simulator, but no, they just make him stand still, wiggling his finger. So now that we're done talking about every single thing they've removed from Sonic Speed Simulator, I kind of want to give my honest thoughts about this and how they can make everything better. Which, first things first, remove all the junk underneath the map. Because if you use free cam and go below the map, you will clearly see a bunch of random textures underneath there. Which, I get it, it's hard to remove. Some of these decals and textures underneath the map are anchored to a structure on top of the surface. Hopefully that makes sense. But honestly, if you're going through so much trouble to remove events, worlds, and even races, would it be much of an ask to take 2 weeks to just like remove everything underneath the map? Because I'm being so for real, if they would just do that and add everything else back, the player counts would probably go up. And for me, I think the worst part about this is that my game still lags to this day. Maybe it's my computer, maybe it's my internet, but you guys see it. Every single time I stream, my game keeps lagging. And I swear, every single time I boost, I get an earthquake on my stream. So maybe it's me, but I honestly doubt it. But alright guys, that's it from me. Hopefully you guys have enjoyed the video. video. I've seen a couple people talking about this, so I thought I'd give my thoughts on it. Let me know your thoughts on this topic down below. And if you're not already, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. My goal is to hit 50,000 subscribers for the end of the year, and I know we can do it. So if you're not already, hit the subscribe button. I'll be seeing all you fellas, ladies and gents next one. Peace. Thank you guys so much for watching.